Durk paid the bounty and crashed out like he did with this one is because of Vaughn.
The hip-hop world was stunned when Lil Durk was arrested for allegedly orchestrating a hit on Quando. However, his legal troubles have now escalated even further. They either want information or your ass. It's the only way to bargain with the feds. Information or your ass. So ain't no out to this report fact that Lil Durk could be facing additional charges related to the death of Stefan Mack. A known gangster disciple. Mack was shot and killed in 2022, and investigators suspect that Durk ordered to hit as retaliation for the murder of his brother Dang was tragically shot and killed outside a Chicago strip club in 2021. When I interviewed Ray's, he told a story about. So, one day, Durk and I were hanging out on the block. I had just left the barbershop, and I'd won all this money shooting dice. When I got back, I could tell the other guys weren't really about it, so I told Durk, let's go grab a gun. He asked what we gonna do, but I didn't say much. We made our way to the barbershop, and that's when I had him rob this dude. After that, Durk unfollowed Lil Reese. So then Lil Durk drops some bars, pretty much calling Lil Reese a snitch. He says something like, "You told my mom I robbed those guys at the barbershop." It's clear he's talking about Reese. I'm sitting there thinking, how you talking to someone's mom like that? That was crazy. I even asked, why'd you bring his mom into it? But that's just how it played out. By then, Lil Durk was already a big name in rap. Federal authorities say Lil Durk tried to get revenge by offering money to take out the people who were behind his brother's death. His lyrics didn't help either. Investigators were watching Durk's social media and even intercepted some of his phone calls where he allegedly talked about getting back at those responsible. The evidence
Lil Durk, man, and the biggest trouble of his life, man, that he ever been in, man. We seen Lil Durk, he escaped everything.
Suggests that Durk was trying to put hits out right after his brother was killed. One of the people they thought might be a target, Stefan Mack, was said to be connected to his brother's death. The murder happened, and gun was taken out in 2022. As for Diddy or Lil Durk, I don't think Diddy knew he was crossing that line or doing something that big. I agree. Diddy had been living his life a certain way for so long, it was just normal to him. But the crazy part is, even though you're out for revenge, you still ended up taking the wrong life. Someone who wasn't even involved in what happened. They probably weren't even there. In fact, I don't think Lil Pop was there when it happened. I agree right now. Durk's the one looking like the bigger fool. Two guys, Anthony Montgomery Wilson and Preston Powell, have been under federal investigation for killing Mack. Prosecutors claim they were texting about getting paid for the hit, and Durk's name came up in their messages. One of those texts was said to be pretty damning. There was a message asking if Durk gave them money after Stefan Mack got killed. Another message talked about Durk's label, OTF, with one suspect asking, "What's up with OTF?" Federal documents also show a message saying, "We're waiting, he comes up here on the 17th. Prosecutors think this meant the suspects were waiting for Durk to come to the city on February 17th to settle the payment for the hit. Now, with the feds digging deeper, these new accusations are putting even more heat on Lil Durk. Lil Durk's in a tough spot legally, and it's raising big questions about his future. The feds think he might have hinted at his involvement in Stefan Mack's killing through his lyrics. They're focused on his song, where he raps, "They dropping locations, I'm getting it done, expletive, tweeting, we sliding, the feds are coming." Another line goes, "My brother D-Thing just got killed and I've been slow since, but we got back on their ass. I bet they know this." With the timing of Mack's death, those lyrics have the authorities digging deeper into his situation. The murder has raised serious questions about whether Durk was hinting at being behind the hit. He's rapped a lot about getting revenge and violence and, has several lines that seem to reference ordering hits on his enemies. One line goes, "They like Durk, his ass a singer, he won't smoke. Expletive, you can believe whatever you want, I got your folks hit." What makes it even more suspicious, according to investigators, is that was released just a month after Ma's death, and one of the men thought to be involved in the murder is linked to Durk. Durk even showed up in the music video, which added to the rumors. Right after Stefan Mack was killed, he posted a picture on Instagram with the OTF logo and the caption, "For dang, While Durk hasn't been officially charged with ordering the hit on Mac, federal prosecutors say he's too dangerous to be released on bond. Durk's legal team has been pushing hard for his release, offering 2 of his properties in Georgia and $1 million in cash as part of a big bail package. Even Durk's label, Sony Music, got involved, offering an extra $1 million if Durk could stay on house arrest with 24/7 armed security. But the prosecutors fought back, revealing new documents that allegedly linked Durk to Mac's murder. In the bond hearing, they used these documents as proof that Durk had been under federal surveillance and that they believe he was directly involved. They also pointed to lyrics from Durk's songs like Wonderful When and Jackie Boy as more proof of his connection. Even a family member of a witness involved in his case, prosecutors also told the judge that Durk wields his power, wealth, and influence to eliminate anyone he views as a threat. They argued that granting him pretrial release would only enable further violence and intimidation of witnesses. Fans have also dissected additional tracks where Durk appears to reference criminal activities, fueling speculation about his involvement in multiple incidents, for example on rumors featuring Gucci M. Durk. Rapped I don't want no expletive, I want the one I paid for. We on his ass, he in the A. You see how long they stay, ain't no hotel room. We pop outside, H it with Draco and trolling ass. We shot your homie, we ain't no we can take those. Prosecutors think these lyrics point to a planned attack on a rival. Durk also seems to take a shot at Quando Rondo in the same track, rapping, "Why you asking me who shot your homie? You got my number, you posted on the gram. You moving backwards. You lucky I don't be doing."
Everything, man, like a smooth criminal, and we thought it was over with, man. He should never participated in nothing with King Von, man.
Expletive for the gram. You expletive cowards. Authorities believe this line shows Durk is openly talking about crimes on social media, which only makes their case stronger that he's been working behind the scenes. During his bond hearing, Durk's legal team tried to use his past to argue he should be released. They brought up his previous attempted murder case, where he was granted bond, saying he followed all the rules and wasn't a flight risk. Back in 2019, Durk and King Von were involved in. Durk was arrested for an alleged attempted murder and armed robbery in Atlanta. The victim, Alexander Witherspoon, had an argument with Durk and King Von before being shot and robbed outside a local spot. Authorities say surveillance footage caught the whole thing, giving them strong evidence against the rappers. At the time, Durk was on tour when the arrest warrant was issued. Instead of running from the law, he turned himself in voluntarily, something his lawyers pointed to as proof that he was ready to face the charges. Durk's lawyers argued that he was ready to face the charges, but prosecutors said this case is much more serious, with multiple alleged hits and a growing pattern of violence tied to Durk's influence. Now, the court has to decide whether to grant bond, knowing the consequences could be harsh if the allegations are true. Just before he turned himself in, Durk dropped the track "Turn Myself In," rapping, "Look up at the judge, can't look, state making up lies, for sure I'm an innocent man." Durk rapped, "Sure, it is what it is, nobody going to ride, had a warrant so I can't hide, India going to stay by my side. I did a song with Chance tonight, giving positive vibes to better my image for life. I turned myself in tonight, head down with these cuffs on, just read me my rights." After a few weeks behind bars, the judge granted Durk a $250,000 bond, letting him wait for trial outside of jail. His legal team argued that he had no history of running and had turned himself in voluntarily for past charges, pushing for his release. The judge to grant him the same opportunity in his murder for hire case, saying the best determiner of how an individual will act in the future is how they behaved in the past. Durk's lawyers insisted that since he had complied with all court orders in his prior attempted murder case and didn't flee, he should be trusted again. However, this case was far more serious, and federal authorities believed Durk had a different plan this time, unlike before where he willingly surrendered. They argued that Durk had actively tried to. When word got out that federal investigators were closing in on Durk and his OTF crew for their alleged involvement in the murder of Quando Rondo's cousin, Lil Pop, Durk was in Florida. The rest of his crew got arrested in Chicago, but Durk, feeling the pressure, tried to escape before the authorities could catch him. He booked flights to Dubai and Switzerland, but for some reason, never boarded either of them. Then, at 6:40 p.m., Durk quickly booked a private jet to Italy, scheduled to leave at 9 p.m. that night. Federal agents, tracking his every move, acted just in time. He was only moments away from leaving the U.S., but about an hour before the jet was set to take off, the feds stopped him and made the arrest. His attempt to run only made the prosecution's case stronger, showing he was a serious flight risk and making any chance of getting bond nearly impossible. It was clear Durk was trying to escape. Avoid trial, further strengthening the federal case against him. Prosecutors already suspected him of attempting to eliminate witnesses, and his last-minute attempt to leave the country only worsened his situation. The entire ordeal painted a damaging picture of Durk in court, leading the judge to deny his bond request. Now, it seems like he could be facing even more legal trouble connected to additional murder investigations. According to sources, the same firearm used in the killing of Stephen Mack has now been linked to another high-profile case, the murder of FBG Cash. FBG Cash was a well-known rival of Durk, and in June 2022, he was shot and killed in Chicago in what appeared to be a targeted hit. Cash was sitting inside his vehicle on the 1600 block of West 81st Street when an armed individual approached and opened fire. Despite managing to return fire and self-defense, Cash was ultimately overpowered and fatally shot. Just 2 years prior, Durk's affiliates Oft and Tay allegedly confronted and ran FBG Cash out of a Chicago neighborhood after Cash was killed. His body was reportedly found lying next to a tree. Interestingly, on his track, threats to everybody, Durk seemingly referenced the incident, rapping, "Think I'm playing, then come and see you're going to end up by that tree." Rumors began circulating the tie-ins have been building between Jam and the OTF camp after this tragedy, though no concrete evidence supports the claim. Speculation increased when whispers emerged that Jam had been wearing a wire for the feds, allegedly providing them with incriminating information. However, this claim seems to have been a mix-up, sparked by OTF twins' social media posts about other people allegedly working with authorities. There's no official proof or records connecting Jam to any federal case against Durk or his crew. A year later, OTF apparently caught up with Quando in Los Angeles and launched another attack. This time, Quando managed to escape unharmed, but his cousin, Lil Pop, was sadly killed in the ambush. Now, several members of Durk's crew are facing serious federal charges. Could result in life sentences. Some critics believe that Durk lost his composure and threw away his career by seeking revenge on Quando Rondo. However, others argued that he was dealing with overwhelming personal loss in just a short span of time. Durk had lost his brother Dang, his cousin Nusi, and his close friend King Vav. Even though he had long since escaped the struggles of his past and achieved major success in the music industry, he remained deeply tied to the street life that shaped him. Though reality is no matter how far someone
like that, but it's pretty obvious he's talking about Reese.
Well, how's you having a conversation with somebody's mom to say
the
that?
past can still have a strong hold, and for Durk, his ties to the streets keep pulling him back into violent situations, making it tough to leave that life behind. If this were a state case, Durk might have had a better shot at fighting the charges with the right legal team. But the feds are different. When they build a case, they usually have enough solid evidence to make sure they get a conviction. Federal cases are a lot tougher to beat than state ones. Much higher success rate, making it extremely difficult for defendants to walk free. Adding to his problems, there are now reports that some members of Durk's own crew may be cooperating with authorities. These alleged informants are said to be providing the feds with crucial details that could lead to even more serious charges beyond the current murder. For higher accusations. If true, this could significantly impact his ability to mount a strong defense. One surprising revelation that has surfaced recently is that Durk allegedly got secretly married his longtime girlfriend, India Royale. They've been together for years, and reports say they tied the knot before his legal troubles took a turn. DJ Academics even suggested that's why Durk often calls himself a devoted husband. During his bond hearing, Durk was seen blowing a kiss to India and his mom, both of whom were clearly emotional as U.S. Marshals escorted him out of the courtroom. Durk's trial is set to begin in early 2025, but there's There's a good chance Durk's trial could get delayed, and many are comparing his case to Young Thug's, which took almost 10 months just to pick a jury. However, Durk's case might not be as complicated as the YSL RICO trial, so he could still face court before the year ends. Right now, things aren't looking great for him, but in high-profile cases like this, anything can happen. Federal prosecutors are focused on securing a conviction, and Durk's future is on the line. Will he be able to beat the charges, or is he facing a lengthy sentence? Only time will tell. What do you think about Lil Durk's case? Will he walk free, or is this the end of his career? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates on this developing case.